Hi everyone, a warm welcome back to my garage. My name is Charlie and I am the motorcycle rescuer. So yes, welcome back. Gary's Bandit, the more I look at it, the more I love it. Colour is stunning. Everything on it is great. Love the exhaust. And it's a mini project, so it's so cool. I'm not touching it because I'm going to wait for Gary to be with us. We need to make a new mount for the clocks. Some light touching up in places like here. Gary wants to do the works to it, and I think it's such a great bike for now. Just get it kind of better on the road and let him use it. The truth is, when you've got your first bike, your big bike, it's gonna get some dings and stuff like that. So you can't be too temperamental. So though I've basically got everything I need to finish it. I just need a couple of dry days. That's the truth. It's a fair amount of painting, cutting paint down. I just need a couple of days to do that properly. Warm days with some sun and so on. But my kind of two focuses for today and potentially tomorrow is Nat's ER5 and this KSR Moto. Stunning bike, by the way, guys. Runs and rides great. That exhaust has been welded on lovely. That's all good. It needs front brake pads. Third time lucky, guys. This is the third set I've bought. They were 707, FA 707. Lots of companies said they didn't even go up to this number, the EBC brakes. They don't even go up to 707. And I was like, well, they do, because I've got a set. But hopefully they are the right ones. And lever set there, I bought a really nice lever set. It's a cool looking bike, guys. It's, you know, I thought a nice lever set there, something quite interesting to go on would make sense. But I'm going to look at if I can transfer the actual lever parts across. It's probably high hopes, only because I want to get it MOT'd ideally today. So if that lever, that black lever happened to be the same, it probably isn't. It looks close actually, guys. I may just change the lever, and I don't know if this one, because it's different. Oh, to be fair, that kind of looks the same as well. I may just try and change the actual levers across for now to save all of the fluids and stuff. Right, so FA 707. That's the 2016 KSR Moto front pads, I believe. The old pads are gone now. I cleaned these up. Oh look, I've punched them out. I've been messing with the brakes, guys. Clean them up, put a bit of grease on them, push them back in. I'll push that back in now, because once they are clean, they do go back in easily. See, that's going back in with one hand, but I'll need two to do it properly. I think today, MOT, that's my aim. Get this up, get it running, get the brakes working, check it over again, and then take it for its MOT, and then I've got a bike ready for sale. Jake owns half this bike. He thinks he has someone in mind. Problem with selling to friends, guys, and this is kind of a genuine issue, is that when they say the whole, I'll pay you 500 now and then I'll pay you over however long, it's messy. It's always messy. Warren's a pain in the arse for that. He still owes me 50 quid and he's done with the Vespa. So I'm always wary about selling to friends. Always worry about selling to friends, because the fact is, if someone crashes it 2 days later, they can say to you, oh, you didn't do something right, and that you know, that made it crash, so I'm not paying you the rest. That does happen, so always be wary. But for now, I'm going to look. I pressed it again. Look, I'm moaning, and then I pressed it again. For now, I'm going to get the new pads on, get that all nipped up, so that we can at least hear this bike and pull it through its paces, because we haven't actually driven this bike yet. We don't know. We know it starts. It will start right now on the button, but we don't know what kind of, is it selecting gears? Would it be braking after this? What does it kind of need for MOT? So I'm going to chuck these on and we'll see where we go from there. So they appear to be the right pads, they fit in perfectly. What we got to do now is we need to get the pressure back on the pad, so we need to pump out the pistons evenly. So pump them out, there you go, one's engaged quickly, and then you keep pumping. What you want is the second one to engage. You can also strap this down overnight to get them all engaged properly, and you'll lose all of the air and everything in the system. That is rock solid, that's a good front brake. Do also check that the front wheel is spinning freely when the brake is not on. Look at that, that's lovely. That means we have a great brake. Now, the one bit we need to sort out is the rear brake needs to engage, because if you go to MOT, watch, and it's all the way down there, then the rear brake's not doing its thing. So what we're doing right now is we're punching out the middle piston. On the front system until that hits. It might take a little while, but you have to do it. Oh, that feels... still goes quite low. It might be a little while, but you've got to get that middle piston out onto the caliper, and there's no way, unless the caliper was off, there's no way of really telling if it's out or not. But of course you need to have a free rear wheel, and then it needs to brake when you brake, so the rear, so that's all good. So I think that's good. Front brake's nice and solid, rear brake's good to go, and of course the more you pump away, check in here for the fluid's fine. Right, good. So now hopefully the black levers just fit on here. I'm going to switch them over now. Let's get lucky on this occasion, otherwise we have to do the full switch and mess around with all of the fluids. The reason this rear brake connects to the front as well is because it has a double system. It has the equivalent to ABS in this country. Basically the rear brake presses the front and the rear together, and then the front brake presses the front. So nothing overly special, just that's what happens. They're complex. When they go wrong, they go wrong. I like to transfer them back to single, so I take away the line that goes to the front if they ever break. I just find it works much better like that. All you have to do is get a single pin here, single bolt, which we have plenty. So you take away this one and you just bolt down that one, and you've gone back to the single. But of course you need to deal with the pipe properly, because it will be leaking .4 everywhere. So guys, I've had to change over the whole thing, because the only thing that didn't work was the brake light. Get the bubbles out. Look, you can tap like this. If you've only done a small change at the top, you don't need to worry about the rest of the flow really. Just tap away until all the air escapes from this end, and you'll know when it's gone because it will start spitting, and you'll get your bite fully back. So you want all these bubbles to come out this way, just by gently tapping them, and you play with it a bit. Go lighter, go tougher, give it bigger pumps, go lighter, you know, play with it really. And then you'll know, like I said, when it's gone, because you'll get your bite back, and in some you'll get a spit, it will spit. Takes about 2 minutes guys. It's a form of bleeding. Some people say you should always go to the bottom and bleed properly, but there's loads of ways of bleeding. You can use a syringe and pump this way, which is doing this anyway, or just use its natural reservoir like we're doing now. Look, really light, gets a few bubbles out. See that? It's quite therapeutic, guys. Look. Just focus on that hole and go to sleep. Couple of big pumps, and then you go back to light, and you'll see you get a nice burst of bubbles. I'm going to do that for a few minutes, then chuck it all back on, and then I need to get to the clutch side. The clutch doesn't have a ball, does it? No, I need to get to the clutch side. So guys, new lever wouldn't bleed at all, so it's obviously a dud. You can have kind of problems anywhere within the master cylinder system there. I bled from the bottom, I bled from the top. Doesn't bleed, won't catch. Now we knew the old one catch because we tested it. So definitely a dud item. I will write to them. Some people are good, they give you your money back, some people are not. We'll see what they say, but I'll put my link maybe on the negative feedback to this page. But yes, definitely a dud, did not work. So that's it. I'm going to go back to the old ones and I'm going to make the balls on the end like I did last week with gaffer tape, just for safety, just to get it past. Same process, back to the original, guys. Bubbles should come up. There you go. Play with it, get the few bubbles out. And we know this cylinder works because it worked before I took it off, so it will bite again. Otherwise, something else went wrong, but it didn't. It was that. It was a dud. Brake cleaver. So, a couple of minutes of this. If I come back this time saying that didn't work either, then I'm going to be pissed because I took a perfectly working brake and ruined it. But it won't. This will bite. It was already working. All we're doing is the air that we messed around with here. We're just taking that bit out, so it doesn't take that long. This one feels a bit bitey already, to be fair. Yeah, we're back already. That now would pass MOT because it's not touching the lever, but we've got bits of air in there. Watch. So just play with it now, guys. Just get them little minute. So pump it, little thing, and then we're basically just put pressure on it. We're getting the last bits of air and the pistons out, and we're good. We're back. Great. What you do is you strap it down overnight. If you think there's a tiny bit more in there, there might be some minute air in there, but that is rock solid, guys. So that's great. And then you just tap it away. Good. So we're back. I need to make them balls on the end so it passes MOT with the gaffer tape. Bit of a shame, but what can we do? Chuck the lid back on, make sure it's topped up. Desperately want to get this in an MOT today. When I said make a ball, guys, if it's an emergency, you make a ball out of gaffer tape like that on both sides. That makes it MOT legal and safe. MOT checks, let's see what's going on. Let's get it up and running. Let's do brake lights. So front, because I've just messed with it. Good. Rear. Good. We need a horn. We need indicators. This is where you find out that you haven't got any and you get pissed off because you're... Good. We need a normal beam and high beam. Excellent. See they're on the wall, normal and high. And then check the shocks are clean. Give them a quick wipe. Rear shocks are fine. Make sure your plate has a light. Did I get a new number plate for this? Oh, I don't know if I did. I'm going to check. Otherwise, this might just get away with it. Otherwise, I can get them to make me one. That's not a huge issue there. I might even bring the logbook with me. Let me nip it down though. It's got reflectors there. It's got a reflector there. So far, we're looking good. Alright guys, so I'm going to bring the logbook in case it needs a number plate because it's got a crack in it. You have to have a logbook to get a new plate printed, guys. And yeah, otherwise, let's see how we do. Alright guys, so we're in for MOT. There's some things I'm not sure about on this one. The cracked number plate, I don't know if that's a pass or a fail. I assume it's an advisory. I may order one anyway, slightly smaller, but as legal as possible. Rear brake was fine, front brake was good. What else? Yeah, I mean, it rode beautifully, absolutely doesn't miss a beat, loved being revved to red line. So really ran well, that bike actually, so I'm pleased with that. All lights, horn, everything seems to work. So I think we're good to go. 45 minutes and we'll know. Okay, so good strong MOT pass there, guys. I took the black off the edges and I filed them down a bit. They just can't be sharp. The idea would have been to have the new ones on. I've lubed the chain, really important. Lubed the chain, and I took off. Yeah, you always see me do it, guys. I declutter. That's an expensive phone mount actually, but I just like decluttering the bikes. I always do, I always have. I just think I prefer them kind of in their basic form. So that's what I do. I was considering throwing some exhaust wrap on this, I still might, but for now it's okay. I think Jake's friend wants this bike. I think he's going to pay for it over time. That's kind of ideal, but otherwise it's going to go up £4,000. Danny's east from DT Essex is considering it as well. He likes it as well. Yeah, like I said, otherwise it goes up £4,000, and honestly, £4,000, people should be biting my head off. Right, I wanted to achieve two things today. I wanted to get the KSI MOT'd, and I'm shocked that I have. And I've bought a new stator for the Knackers Yard / Motorcycle Rescuer ER500, the absolutely stunning ER500. So let me go and get the stator. I'll be back. I'm going to chuck that on, and that should be plug and play kind of.